Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we'll be looking at that one-time Plastic Man outsmarted the Justice League to save his son. There was a time when a being who could rise above all others chose to walk among us. A time when a man was a symbol of hope. That was the case until his world was torn apart. When he fell, something twisted took his place. He was no longer a symbol of hope, but a symbol of fear, of control. As the old saying goes, you either die a hero or live long enough to become a tyrant. How did he react after what happened to his wife, to his son, and what his city could already see he was about to do? I've been hiding ever since, and boy, am I good at hiding. But that hasn't made me anything more than a coward. We start with Superman, who asks Flash who these captured people are. One of them says they're just regular people against Superman's government. Suddenly, the whole thing is interrupted by Cyborg. Victor has just checked the footage of an explosion involving 5 terrorists. 4 of them have already been caught, so it's necessary to find the one still missing. As Flash and Superman leave to search for the missing criminal, a chair in the room begins to change shape. He's always been here, hiding and running his whole life. He can hide better than anyone on Earth because he's a shapeshifter. Now that Superman is gone, he takes the chance to shift form and help his allies escape. But before he can do it, Flash returns and catches him trying to get away. Seems like he won't be getting any time to escape after all. To Flash, he's nothing more than a talking chair. Those words hit a nerve. He's not just any chair, he's Flash's worst nightmare. He's chaos. Before he can hurt Flash, Superman shows up just in time to stop him. In the end, the shapeshifter reveals himself and pleads with Superman not to hurt him. Flash finally recognizes him. This boy is Luke McDunnock. Later, we're in the Hall of Justice, where they discuss what happened with the kid. They know they need to be more careful. There were cameras in that place, and many people saw what happened. They can't let a super terrorist go free. Superman agrees with Wonder Woman. They can't preach about justice and then break the rules whenever it's convenient. This kid, Luke McDunnock, is a shapeshifter. Just like any other criminal, there's only one place for him. He must be taken to the pit. Among all those present, there's one person they're provoking. Someone who's already been in that prison too. When he was there, time moved painfully slow. Flash approaches Superman. The mysterious figure is getting closer. Diana gives the order, they must watch him closely. If he tries anything, they need to restrain him immediately. Sinestro can't believe they need so much preparation for this guy. Diana tells him it's because he's more dangerous than he appears. But who are we talking about? Well, he's many things. A liar, a thief, the father of Luke McDunnock. He's Patrick O'Brien. He's Plastic Man. Patrick stands before Superman and says he loves what they've done with the place. He doesn't know who decorated it, but they managed to make the whole place feel oppressive, perfectly matching Superman's regime. Diana asks him what he wants. Plastic Man starts by asking them to stop pretending they don't know why he's there. They need to release his son, right now. They can't tell him they can't do it, because every great dictatorship has a healthy dose of nepotism. Diana says Superman is no despot, but of course he is. He's literally sitting on a throne. Everyone in this place needs to stop pretending they're the good guys, starting with Sinestro, who screams bad guy from a mile away. Just look in a mirror. He's a full-on mustache-twirling villain, and there's no hiding it. Plastic Man even takes Sinestro's form. He bets he twirls that mustache whenever no one's looking. Superman cuts him off. They've heard enough, and he's not going to change their minds anyway. Patrick came to try talking things out because he figured this all started with Superman's son dying. He thought that might make him more empathetic when it comes to other people's children. Plastic Man leaves at Flash's request, telling them to talk it over amongst themselves and do the right thing. Later, Patrick asks Flash what he's doing in a place like this. Barry says he's hoping it can change. It might take time, but one day he believes things will get better. He's sorry about what happened to Luke. Before they can keep talking, Plastic Man cuts him off, saying he's sorry too, but he's not abandoning his son. Patrick stretches out and starts inserting his fingers into Flash's nose. Barry doesn't need to move. If he does, Plastic Man might accidentally pull out something important. That way, he can make his way into Barry's trachea. Barry has nothing to worry about. He's just putting him to sleep while he goes to rescue his son. Later, Barry wakes up in a panic and tells Cyborg that Plastic Man is going after his son. Victor says he won't make it. Sure, Plastic Man's good, But there's no way he can survive the pressures of the ocean's deepest point. Barry doesn't trust that. Maybe they should go over the pit's layout again and search for any weaknesses he might exploit. They must not underestimate Plastic Man. He's done things that should be impossible. Later on, we see them reviewing the plans. Apparently, there are several potential entry points, though Cyborg is still confident that Plastic Man won't make it. But that wasn't Flash, it was Plastic Man. Now he knows exactly where the pit's weak spots are. The hardest part isn't mimicking someone's appearance. It's perfectly stretching your vocal cords to match their voice. Luckily, he spent enough time with Barry to practice and get it just right. Victor finally seems to take Barry's words seriously and tells him he'll notify the warden about Plastic Man so they can keep an eye on Luke McDunnock. As Victor leaves, Plasquick takes the opportunity to look for tools around the place to free his son. As he moves forward, he sees a photo of himself with the Justice League. No doubt, those were good times, but before he was a hero, he was a criminal. He hasn't forgotten how to be one, and he'll use his criminal knowledge to his advantage. Later on, Plastic Man arrives in a helicopter over the ocean. They're right above the Challenger Deep. It's time to say goodbye. Woozy will need to lay low after this, or Superman will kill him for being an accomplice. Patrick has been hiding from responsibility most of his life, hiding from those he's hurt, from those who needed him. He's hit rock bottom so many times, yet he always finds new and creative ways to sink even lower. He was a criminal, a disappointment, something to be ashamed of, something to keep hidden. Then he changed, or at least he thought he did. He was part of the Justice League. Being in the League, saving the world, he thought that would be enough. But it was just another excuse to never be there. Patrick never had time for his son. After all this time, he got tired of just being around but never present. He never made it to any of his son's games. But now, he's going to the bottom of the world to break him out of the most secure prison ever built. Truth be told, a part of him would rather do this. There's something deeply wrong with Plastic Man. This is the first prison he's ever broken into. Patrick manages to dive down and infiltrate the facility. Once inside, he quickly takes out one of the guards and steals his uniform to move deeper into the prison. Now he sees one of the dumbest things he's ever seen. They gathered the most unstable people on Earth and shoved them together inside a giant bubble, under the most extreme pressures on the planet. What could possibly go wrong? To put his plan into motion, Plastic Man speaks with Kilowog. He tells him he can help him get out of there. All Kilowog has to do is cause a distraction in the cafeteria while Patrick goes to find his son. For Kilowog, that's easy. So he walks up to Bane and asks how to properly insult his mother in his language. After hearing the phrase, Kilowog headbutts Bane. A full-on brawl breaks out, and Plastic Man uses the chaos to keep moving forward. As he advances, someone speaks to him through the surveillance camera. They don't know how he got there, but the prison break-ins now. The door between Patrick and his son is completely sealed. There's nothing he can do to open it. Of course, Patrick knows better. After all, there's a control console right there with some sort of lock system. The voice tells him the lock is unbreakable and even the guards don't have access to the key. But for Plastic Man, that's not a problem, because he just found the key right there. Once he opens the door, not only is his son freed, but several other maximum security villains can now escape as well. Suddenly, alarms start going off, which means Superman and his Psycho Fanatic League are on their way. They need to go now. But before Plastic Man leaves, he has to find Kilowog, whom he promised to help escape along with the rest of the Lanterns imprisoned here. Meanwhile, Superman is alerted to the situation in the trench. The warden has sounded the alarms. Clark leaves immediately. Sinestro, Diana, and Hal must follow him to help contain the chaos. Back with Plastic Man, he tells Kilowog to stop fighting so they can get out of there. But before they can continue, something strange happens. The warden shows up in person, or rather, Metamorpho is here. Plastic Man greets him. Metamorpho says he's glad to see Patrick here. Clearly, he belongs. He saved them the trouble of dragging him in. Patrick apologizes for ruining the party, but he has no intention of staying. To make things worse, Superman has arrived with his allies to stop them. Luke tells his father it was good to see him, but it looks like he's headed straight back to his cell. Before anything else can happen, Plastic Man gives the signal to Kilowog. Just like we saw before when he disguised himself as Flash, Patrick had taken the Green Lantern rings from the lanterns Superman captured after the battle in Year 2. The lanterns begin to transform. This infuriates Sinestro, who won't let them get away. Using the power of his yellow ring, Sinestro fires a blast straight through Kilowog before he can fully return to being a Green Lantern. He's left lying on the floor, unable to fight back. Worst of all, the dome that kept the trench from flooding is now about to collapse. The lanterns try using their rings to stabilize it, but Plastic Man tells them it's too late. If they stay, they'll die. Superman can't stop it either. He can't come in without dooming everyone. And that's actually a good thing. It means they need the dome to hold, no matter what. Patrick tells his son to activate the belt he gave him when he arrived. Captain Cold recognizes it. It's Mirror Master's belt. Once Luke puts it on, he has to start stretching as much as he can. While the portal remains open, everyone must hold on to Luke so they can escape. While this happens, Plastic Man stretches his body to keep the dome from collapsing. As he does, Superman and the others can only stand and watch, unable to help. All the prisoners manage to escape. Luke rushes to his father and tells him they need to go. Patrick says he can't move. Luke insists he can. He just loves being dramatic. He believes that a part of his father finds it easier to sacrifice himself than to escape with his son. Plastic Man agrees. Of course they can leave. Of course they can escape just fine. Once they do, Luke asks his father, "Is that it? We let all those villains escape through the mirrors so they can go back into the world while Superman is still a tyrant?" Well, yeah, that's pretty much what just happened. But before they leave, Patrick has a few words. He knows some of them are just like he used to be, criminals. But he also knows that some of them are genuinely terrible people. Right now, he's trying not to run away from responsibility anymore. And it would be super irresponsible to just walk away and keep being trash. His son was imprisoned for standing up to Superman. Since all of them helped him escape and stop the facility from imploding, Plastic Man would really appreciate it if they could channel all their villainy into ruining Superman's life. Just do whatever it takes to make his life hell. Now it's time to go. If Luke really wants to, maybe they could try to take on Superman. Or maybe they'll just hide and wait for someone more qualified to do it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.